In a matter of seconds, a bomb will explode here.
Exactly. Now.
No one on board will survive. And many people on the ground will also die.
Debris rains down like meteorites from the sky, devastating the small town of Lockerbie. In the coming month, thousands of emergency services, soldiers, and volunteers are on their way to collect the parts.
And it will lead to one of the most comprehensive and complex investigations ever. One that spans half the globe.
And where there are no easy answers. Even after almost 40 years, the case remains fully unresolved.
This is the story of one of the worst plane crashes of all time. The magnitude of that crash never really hit home to most people in the United States. The magnitude of that crash never really hit home to most people in the United States.
The investigation was never formally closed. It's certainly Britain's worst ever air disaster.
The questions about Lockerbie just refuse to go away.
The Pan Am 103 Lockerbie Legacy Foundation has collected interviews with the bereaved and with witnesses of the plane crash.
Why Lockerbie? Why this little town? And why was I there?
Shortly before 7 p.m., Shauna rings a doorbell. With her are her younger sister and her niece.
They brought Christmas gifts for their friend, Diane. Diane is delighted. She welcomes Shauna and the children into her home. Suddenly, the house begins to shake. Shauna and Diane think it's a passing train. But these are the first signs of a massive explosion. She remembers it clearly.
And then the next thing we felt as if the windows from the kitchen got blown through and the flames started coming through the fire.
But the group holds out until the quake finally stops.
After the initial shock, they make sure the children are okay. One goes outside to understand what has happened.
By now, many people in Lockerbie are on the street. Then, amidst the rubble, Shauna also discovers lifeless bodies.
Slowly, the people begin to realize a plane has crashed over their small town.
That same night, the first images hit the airwaves.
Rescue teams from all over Britain are heading for the scene of what looks to be Britain's worst air crash tonight. Just after 7 this evening, a jumbo jet crashed onto the town of Lockerbie in the Scottish borders.
Witnesses report a gigantic fireball, a brilliant light like an atomic explosion.
Burning debris rained from the sky, destroying several houses.
Some houses on the south side of Lockerbie reportedly all but disappeared.
The full extent of the destruction only becomes clear the next day.
Parts of the town lie in rubble and ashes, and in the middle of it all is a giant crater.
The massive landslide was nearly 50 meters long and over 10 meters deep.
The bow is separated from the fuselage, but is still largely in one piece. Even the inscription is still legible.
The image spreads through the media.
11 people from Lockerbie are dead. Of the 259 people on board, no one survived.
Most of them were Americans. They wanted to fly home for Christmas.
But amidst the grief for the victims, speculation quickly begins to surface.
December 21, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 takes off from London, bound for New York. None aboard could know what was about to happen.
Minutes later, radar blips vanish. Witnesses report a fireball in the night sky, an explosion high above Lockerbie, Scotland.
Residents describe debris raining from the heavens. Homes ignite, the quiet town thrown into chaos.
Police, soldiers, and volunteers comb the hills, collecting anything that does not belong to nature.
Over the following year, teams traveled 2.4 million kilometers, photographed 35,000 items. The search zone soon covers more than 2,000 square kilometers, the largest crime scene investigation in aviation history. Among the wreckage, small fragments of metal tell the story of unimaginable force. Forensic experts detect traces of high-energy explosives in Tillid, proof the plane was destroyed by a bomb.
Authorities confirm Pan Am Flight 103 was brought down deliberately. The investigation becomes a hunt for a hidden bomb and those who built it.
Piece by piece, the shattered Boeing 747 is laid out inside a military hangar in southern Scotland.
Each fragment is logged and matched to its position on the aircraft's frame, slowly revealing where the blast began.
A section of metal bears circular holes and soot, a signature of high-velocity detonation.
Mechanical. Forensic scientists confirm chemical residues of plastic explosives, the bomb's fingerprint.
Then, a breakthrough. A 20-centimeter fragment of brown Samsonite luggage, warped and charred.
Nearby, a sliver of circuitry no larger than a fingernail emerges from the debris. Tests reveal the board belonged to a Toshiba radio, a device used before in hidden explosive plots.
Analysts trace the epicenter of the blast to a single suitcase loaded in the forward cargo hold.
Investigators from Scotland, the FBI, and intelligence agencies worldwide join forces, following a trail that stretches across continents.
Months of interviews and evidence bring more questions than answers. The truth remains buried beneath fragments.
Thousands of recovered fragments are transported to a military facility near Longtown, 28 kilometers from Lockerbie.
Inside, investigators begin to rebuild the Boeing 747, fragment by fragment, across a floor the size of a football field.
The twisted frame begins to take shape, each part placed with precision, each hole telling a story of violence.
Every serial number, every screw, and every scorched edge helps pinpoint the blast's exact origin.
The data confirms it. The explosion began in the forward cargo hold, near two specific luggage containers.
One container, labeled PP8932, shows extreme internal damage, the very heart of the detonation.
A brown Samsonite case with its lock set to 111, and the DSON, the carrier of the bomb that tore through the sky.
At last, the evidence aligns. A bomb hidden in a radio, sealed within a suitcase, loaded onto Pan Am Flight 103.
From within the suitcase, a single clue, a circuit board fragment smaller than a fingernail, holds the key.
Tests reveal a perfect match to a Toshiba radio model at Nodal, identical to devices once used by terrorist groups. Press reports confirm the connection, a radio-turned weapon, part of a larger, deadly network.
Months later, wreckage is transported to Farnborough. The Air Accident Investigation Branch begins final reconstruction.
Piece by piece, a section of the fuselage 20 meters long rises from the ground, a ghost of Flight 103.
Digital analysis confirms the detonation originated from the forward cargo bay, beneath passenger rows 23 and 24. Forensic teams cross-check burn marks, confirming the direction of the blast and the bomb's position. After years of searching, the full picture emerges. A device small enough to hide, powerful enough to destroy an airliner.
In Lockerbie, the town still grieves. 270 lives lost, forever bound to a single December night.
Evidence is sealed and archived. The case moves from wreckage to courtroom. Justice will take decades.
The remains of Pan Am Flight 103, stand as a monument to science, patience, and sorrow.
What began as a flight home became one of the most complex investigations in aviation history.
A tiny circuit board, a single suitcase, and a tragedy that changed the skies forever.